I was looking at your photo, Tahmoh. You look beautiful there. Where's yours? Yeah. Thank you.
That's Sebastian fishing for a compliment, everybody. He'll pay everybody compliments, but you better be sure to pay him one back.
How are you this morning? Wait, that's not much. Come on. How are you this morning? Yes, just imagine we're Coldplay, okay? The stars shine for. Oh, fucking hell.
I mean, it is early.
Sorry.
No, you do your thing. I love it. I mean, we have got the Jumbotron, so if anybody is here with anybody that they shouldn't be with, and we put that camera out, let's not.
I can see the back of my head. Oh, wait, I need a little grow game here.
Guys, thank you so much for coming and joining us today. How are you enjoying it so far? I mean, I know it's like you've been here for what, 10 minutes so far?
We've been here for 10 minutes. About where we were going, and I'm carrying my backpack, but I'm happy that I'm here.
Yeah, it's good. You have all your stuff.
Yes, we have all our accoutrements.
Love that. Well, we're going to hand out to some audience questions.
Yes.
But first, just to get everybody warmed up, we'll ask one quick question first. So, guys, any memorable moments that you can share, favourite moment from the show that you would like to share, one by one?
Go on, Adam.
Favorite moment? Well, I think it was, oh God, I don't know, the show's well over now at this point. I think it was getting drunk with Jared and Jensen on my last day on set.
Oh, you did that.
Soshannah, you were there. You were there on my last day filming when we shot that big episode, that night shoot. We drank a lot of whiskey to get through the night. And I realized I'd forgotten, because it was all, we'd sold it to ourselves just because there was no dialogue. It was just this big action sequence and I had to do all these stunts. Then at the very end, they said, oh, we're gonna fit this scene in at the very end where I had a lot of dialogue.
Oh, you twisted your ankle?
Huh?
Twisted your ankle?
Yes, exactly.
And that made it into the show?
Yes. And I fell off the car and I twisted my ankle. Yeah. You got the end of the story. That was the punchline. Thanks, Soshannah.
Come along.
Well, I mean, nothing in particular comes to mind about the show. I had a blast doing it. The 6 episodes that I did in the 9th season. I'll tell you this, one of my favorite things about being part of the supernatural universe has been the fact that we were just talking about these two gentlemen on the bus over here, is doing conventions and being on the road with them and traveling the world and getting to meet all you guys. And I've done that for, 12 years. Has it been that long? Jesus, has it really been that long?
Yeah, it's been a long time. We're like a traveling troupe.
There you go. And we've been able to travel the world, and we break bread in wonderful places, and we have drinks, and we meet you guys. It's such a blessing, man. You guys, the Supernatural fans are just incredible, and I love these two gentlemen, and I'm always meeting new people who are part of the universe too, and it's one of my favorite things. I'm truly grateful for this experience, and I always look forward to it. So thank you, guys.
Wait till the applause subsides. No, it's the same with me. One of the great moments too, it seems like they do that every time. On my last day of shooting, after the shoot, we end up in Jared or Jensen's massive trailer. It's like, 2 full, massive trailers that look like a football field. And we drink. We used to drink a lot of whiskey. And I remember they made fun of the fact that I always wear, V-necks, and I was not wearing a V-neck that day. And I remember Jared coming up to me, going, "Hey man, tall, down to a real big V-neck, And yes, I'll never forget that. And same as Tahmoh. It's we never shot together, but meeting all of the supernatural traveling troupe, which is pretty much what we are. It's like a theatrical troupe, and we go all over the world to meet you guys. And the supernatural fandom is really one of the great fandoms. I remember being at IKEA Istanbul, and then suddenly it was like, or with a Turkish accent, and you know, it's extraordinary. It's been a blessing for all of us, and you know, it's great. We travel the world to meet you guys. You know, you love us, we love you. You know, what's better? So, thank you guys.
My favorite memory, I grew up doing the show, so many things have changed in my life through every episode that I've been on. I had a Jensen.
How old were you when you did the first episode?
First episode, I was 11 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, and I'm almost 30 now. 29 yesterday. So,
Happy birthday.
Thanks, man. So, you know, so many things have happened. I did a Jensen directed episode, so that was cool. Because I never got to work with them too much directly because I was young Sam. So getting to work with Jensen on a directing standpoint was super cool. Yeah.
Son of a bitch, man.
Had my first on-screen kiss, I think, on Supernatural. So that was cool.
Did you get any whiskey at the end?
Oh, I was gonna say, yeah, I was at Austin, but I was underage, so.
You never know.
My last episode, I was 19. What the heck?
And it was in Canada, so you could have drunk.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
And any moments for Soshannah?
When Adam twisted his ankle. Yeah, that was a very good moment for me. Really, it's not always easy to come into a show that's been running for such a long time, especially as a deaf person. Because everyone already has their connections. I'm just kind of coming in as a new person. Hi, I talk with my hands. But everyone was so welcoming when I joined the cast. Everyone learned a lot of signs. Jared learned a lot of signs. Not all of them were right, but that's okay. But I just felt really welcomed into the universe, getting to work with people like Adam.
Yeah, I think that's right though. You're right. It is hard to join a cast when it's been going for so long. But this show in particular, just was seamless. It really was. It was a well-oiled machine that we just slipped into, and everyone was really embraced as part of the family from early on, and that's why I think that's why these conventions still happen today. It's because there's a different kind of air about the show, and it's not even just the content of the show, it's the people that are involved, and then its fan base are quite a unique partnership, and I think that's why it's the gift that keeps on giving kind of thing.
It's always about the leads, right? It's the way the leads conduct themselves and embrace new actors and their crew. I was having a conversation with Jewel State about it last night. It's, you can feel when you're a guest or you're a new recurrent character, you go onto a set, you feel the vibe right away. You know what the show's going to be like right away. Like even from the makeup trailer, you get a sense of how the show's going to be, because that attitude, the way that the leads conduct themselves, that energy carries on to the entire crew. And you'll see a happy crew, and you can actually feel a happy crew literally in the makeup trailer. You can get a sense. It's crazy to say that, but you're going to have a good sense of how things are going to be once you get on set. From the vibe of the makeup trailer at the very start of the day, it's wild. And those guys are wonderful, and their crew is wonderful. Some of the crew had been with them for the full 15 years. Full 15 years, so it's like a family. You're on set, it's just a bunch of dudes joking around, everyone's busting each other's balls. There's no pressure. Unfortunately, sometimes when you do guest stars, you go on a show and the two leads hate each other, or there's tension, or people aren't happy, and it's odd. It's a little stressful, because you're the new guy, you're coming in, you're there for only so long, you don't have enough time to develop a rapport, and you're in and out. But those guys were the exception, and that's why we're all here. Part of the reason, because you guys felt that too, right?
Yeah, and you know what I loved about them is, you know, if you've got a really good sense of humor, you're in. You're really.
If you can fart at will
Yeah.
in the back of baby.
Yes, if you're good at flatulence, you're right.
Jared used to do this thing where he deliberately wait until you're in the back of the car because you can't get out. And then he'd put up, you'd be inside in the studio, right? So, and he'd roll up the windows and he'd fart.
Yeah, you would usually also do like roll sounds.
Yeah.
And
Action! I was doing a very emotional scene. I had a huge emotional scene with Jared and Jensen, and it was an arduous day of filming where I was in a very emotional scene, big first day with them, in every scene from top day to the end of the day, and we're finishing up this like big scene for me, and I've got tears in my eyes, and I'm in this place, and Jensen and I have a moment, and the about to go cut, and Jensen and I are looking at each other. We look over at Jared, who's like laying in the bed, he's comatose or whatever, and he just let one rip, right at that point. And I remember the camera was still on me, right? And I was just trying not to.
You didn't need a tear stick.
If you weren't crying, you weren't.
Okay, I'm good with the tear stick. This fart is cinching my nose hairs.
And Jensen's just off camera going.
You do that all the time.
Yeah, there were a lot of pranks on set. There were a lot of joking around. My first day, because I was playing Cockney, obviously, and but I'd gone to dinner with the two boys the night before, and when I got to set the next day, Jared is tied. It was that ladies drink free episode, and Jared is tied to a chair. Lady Bevel has him in the dungeon, and I start speaking, and he just goes, "Cut, cut." Which I just don't ever call cut, like, and it was. And he goes, "Does anyone understand what this guy is saying?" And I went bright red, and I was like, "Fuck, does he not understand?" And then I would have kind of laughed it off, and he did it again. He called cut again, and then again, and then Bob Seger, who's directing the episode, came in and goes, "Come on, please cut it out." He's like, "I can't understand what he's saying." It's really quite embarrassing.
So all I'm getting is practical jokes, farting, and whiskey. Supernatural summed up, yeah? Love that. We've got some audience members that would like to ask some questions, so we're going to run out some microphones. T, would you like to take the first one?
Hello.
Hello.
Where are you?
I'm over here.
Oh, hello.
My mum pushed me on the chair then. Hello.
Hello.
I got a question. Did you ever forget your lines and did you have to improv? That's the question for all of you.
I never forget my line. No, I mean, I don't, no, I don't really forget my lines, but I love to improv. Yeah, I love to add a few things here and there. Not too much, because sometimes, some of the writers are not really into it.
Yeah,
but
it depends.
We do.
It's something you kind of sense it in the moment. If you start improvising lines from the get-go, and you're a guest star of a show, you're gonna go, "Who the fuck is this guy?" But I do recall one scene when I have this like artful Dodger moment when I don't know what episode it was. I can't remember. But we all had been drinking heavily the night before, in character, not normally as actors. But and so we open up and this scene.
Did you do any research on that?
I did no research all my life. But the scene opens up with Jared and Jensen on the table in the kitchen of somewhere wherever we were staying, and they're in bits the next day. And I come in, all suited and booted in great chipper form, and the guy's like, "How are you in such good form? Like we were drinking heavily last night." And I go to the fridge, and all the props guys had in the fridge was tomato juice. And I was like, no, orange juice. I wouldn't drink tomato juice. Just that's all we got. So at the very end, there's this beat at the end of the scene where I'm just looking at this tomato juice, and I said, "Any vodka?" And that was the only improv I did, and they kept it in, so it was good. Yeah.
I've definitely forgotten my lines before. It happens sometimes you blank. When you've been doing it for a while, luckily you just, you call for line and you keep going. But when you're green, you're first starting out, you can feel the pressure, and if you forget the line and you unravel, then it's going to be a long day at work. I remember a veteran actor helping me out and just reminding me of that, and I've done the same with like a lot of new actors. If they're really, because it's a lot of pressure. Again, when you're new on a show, you're feeling immense pressure to just get that first take done, and you can, and that goes back to again like having, just a wonderful welcoming cast, because they can take some of that pressure away from you. It's important when they make you feel like you've got a place there and everything. It's a good place to be, a safe place to be.
What was it for you?
Yeah, I don't. I probably did forget my lines occasionally. They're probably most likely after lunch. Food coma after lunch. But like you said, just coming into that amazing casting crew and family that they've created there makes you feel so much more comfortable that when you do slip up or like miss something, that anxiety or that fear factor that normally would just be it spikes and would stay totally comes down in a much faster way.
Yeah, it's very hard when you get on a show, as Tahmoh was saying, where you don't have that welcoming factor. So you have to come in incredibly focused. And you have to come in, basically, what I do is I'm like, okay, fuck it, you hate me, act to win. Because otherwise you will get lost on that set. You have to come in extremely prepared so that you blow them away. It's hard, it's a lot of pressure.
So you get invited back?
Yeah, so you get
invited back.
But also, it's like the antithesis of what you want to be in that moment, because you're at your best when you're relaxed, right? Like people say it's good to have a bit of nerves. Yeah, of course, and everything, it keeps you sharp. But when they kind of overpower you, as anybody with any anxiety knows, that like it can ruin any moment that you're in any walk of life. But when you get to do this thing that you've been dying to do, and you get this big part in this new show or whatever, all these nerves, they don't really serve you really well. It's best to be cool, calm, and controlled, and that's when you can improv best. When you're in the moment and you're completely like nerve-free and just relaxed. So it's a good place to get people. And as the lad said, there was no one better to put your mind at rest or make you feel at ease than Jared farting in your face.
Great question, by the way. Pam, I know we've got some questions down here. If you'd like to bring the mic down to the front. Yourself, yeah.
So I recommend Penikkett's question was for Sebastian. Wanted to ask if you thought, was it weird being a Nazi man in a high castle, but without having to do a German accent? And I really hope that you didn't turn up in the interview in the outfit that you wore on the show, like you did for Supernatural.
So what is your question exactly? Sorry, I can't hear.
Was it weird to play a Nazi without doing a German accent?
Basically, so I was in this show called Man in the High Castle, where I played this basically Reichsminister Martin Heusmann, who basically kills. It's set in a different sort of dystopian future where Hitler is still alive in 1960s. Then my character eventually starts out as a quote-unquote good guy in the Nazi government, and then I basically have Hitler killed and I become the Führer. And it was crazy to get on this show because I had to speak perfect German. And I've taken German, I'm pretty good at languages, and it was a really challenging show to be on. It was really fun, but again, I came onto the show's second season, so there was a lot of expectation. And the cast members were really welcoming, and I felt really, really comfortable being on the show after the first episode. But the challenge was to speak German perfectly, and I took lessons before I did it, and I worked with this amazing voice coach during the run of the series, and it was very challenging. One time I had to do this whole scene with this guy who was from the Berlin Schaubühne, which is the national theater of Germany, and he spoke this beautiful theatrical German, and that was a massive challenge. But my best friend, who always criticizes me, who's a very good critic, said, "Sebastian, yes, you did a good. Your German was really good." So that felt really good because he usually tells me, "You're shit."
It's always people close to home, isn't it? It's always people close to home that you trust their opinion.
So it was a great challenge, really great part, great challenge. Playing a despicable character, of course. But it's sometimes those despicable, challenging characters are the most interesting.
You're very good at that.
Yes.
Great question. Look, it wouldn't be a Supernatural panel if we didn't bring up one of the cousins of the Winchesters who's just turned up. So, Should we just welcome onto stage Colin who played Christian Campbell?
Woo!
He's bringing up his own chair as well. Look at that. Oh, reunion. And we have another question down here at the front there.
Hello.
How you doing?
Hi.
Hi. Adam, I've asked you this question before with David in Vegas, but I'm a huge fan of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. And Supernatural did a lot of crossover episodes. So if it did a Rocky Horror crossover, who do you think should play who from the Supernatural cast?
I'm definitely playing Frankenfurter. Because I played Frankenfurter. How did you do? Yes, I did, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know the Rocky Horror.
Well, the Tim Curry role is Frankenfurter. Then there's Barry Bostwick, who
Whoever took that role after Tim Curry.
yeah, I know.
So incredible.
And it would be the most fun part to play.
Would be fun, yes. Would be fantastic. Who do you see? I mean, you're the expert.
Yeah.
Yes. Loving the show so much. Who do you
I
see?
thought Jared could make a really good riff-raff.
Oh yeah.
And unfortunately, we thought that maybe Misha or David Hayden Jones would be a good Frank.
Franken. Yeah.
Yeah, and Jensen would have to be Rocky just for the golden
Yeah.
pants and shirtless. Yeah.
I could see it. I could see it.
Good stuff. We're going to take one last question, so we've got time for tea. So we've got anyone with a question that they want to ask over this side of the ring at all? Was anyone else got another question? Yeah?
There's so much great music in the show. What's your favourite song, Ed?
Oh, wow. Great question.
Foreigner. I mean, the quintessential song is Carry On.
We would do that. We would do that at some of the conventions where we'd sing it at the end of every karaoke night. We would do, you know, we'd do a karaoke night on some of these conventions, and the song that would play out the night would be "Carry On, My Wayward Son," and there was always something magical about doing it. Like, you hear it all the time, you know, but
Never really gotten old.
but it never gets old. And the fans singing that song alongside, it's the closest thing that I've ever felt to being a rock star. Not my song. I'm not at a concert, but like I'm at karaoke and they're banging out the song to you and you're singing it to them. It's a fucking cool moment. Really cool. Yeah.
What's your favorite song, guys? Carry On. Which one? Heat at the moment.
Okay, well that was a quick question. I like that. Was there one more question? We can squeeze one more in. Anyone?
Ready?
Yeah, I think we.
So fast.
Perfect. Thank you.
Hi, I hope this is going to be a quick one then. I just wanted to know when you went to go to the show to audition or you got offered the part, did you know what you were getting into?
No, absolutely not.
No, not at all.
Anyone like some water? Water? No, I definitely didn't. And it was a really quick audition process for me. I literally went in one day, and on the Monday I was up in Vancouver. But what they did, they really did a cool thing with myself and David Hayden Jones' accents. So he's the prim and proper kind of guy, but he's like he's evil, and my character was inherently good, but he was more artful dodger on the streets of London kind of guy. So they kind of reversed the roles a little bit for me and David, and we really enjoyed working together. Despite the characters not really, despite him shooting me in the head the last day. But yeah, we formed a good bond, and I think it's good to have someone like that that you can bounce off while you're working. That's in a kind of similar position as you are on this behemoth of a show.
My audition process was done down in Los Angeles like some weird building behind, Warner Brothers. It was like way in the back, you know, and I mean, honestly, I was super stoked when I got the, you know, because I'm playing a cousin of the Winchesters, and I'm like, hey, that sounds meaty. But the audition process went great. I mean, I was so prepared for it, and I was so enthusiastic about it. I walked out of the room, and I literally, normally I don't do this because I'm not that egotistical, but I walked out of the room and I called my agent and said, they're gonna offer me the part.
Yeah, for me it was I auditioned for Crowley and Lucifer. And I auditioned so many times for Supernatural that I was in Vancouver shooting this show called Fringe. And they're like, oh, could you go to this studio? I can't remember where it was. And you have to audition for this character, Balthazar. And I was like, I'm not fucking going another time for Supernatural. They should just offer me the part. And my manager was like, go to the fucking studio. And I went, and Robert Singer was in. Robert Singer is the supervising showrunner, producer, director of the show. And I didn't know that. And I walked in, and I didn't see. I always remember, I went so fast. I was stopping. He was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And Robert Singer was like, I've never said that to an actor, but could you please slow down? And I did it again, and it went really well with the reader. And Robert basically said, okay, you got the part. And I never knew what was going to happen. My first scene was with Misha, and Misha told me, Sebastian, you have no idea what you're walking into. And I had no idea. And here we are, 15 years later. And you know, it's been a blessing, really.
North Shore Landscape Studios?
Lionsgate, that's it. It took me forever to get there. I was like, where the fuck is this?
Across the bridge. Yeah, I did a similar thing. I had no idea who I was going out for. They had me read a scene of Misha's. So I was just, all they told me was you're auditioning for an angel, and yeah, and they gave me a scene. It was actually Misha's scene, and so I read it, and then they said it might be 2 episodes. We'll see. And they came back to me. I was like, okay, great. And they shared no information whatsoever with me until like days before, and then again, to Sebastian's point, 15 years later, here we are.
I don't remember explicitly. I was 10 or 11 years old. But I do remember it was Robert Ulrich's office behind my middle school off Laurel Canyon.
Laurel Canyon?
Yeah, I was a kid. Also, it was right there. But I remember watching the show at home with the lights on in the middle of the day with my mother. It's like I was so terrified, but I loved it, you know. And I didn't know what I was getting involved with, and I'm thrilled. I mean, the show's been such an amazing lifeline and support system in my career, so it's been awesome.
My story's a little bit different. I got an email from my manager saying that, yeah, Supernatural would like to create a character specifically for me. And I was like, oh, cool. What's the character? And she said, it's Sam's love interest. I was like, I'm going to die. That's what that means. So I went to set, had the best time. I really didn't want to die. I didn't know how long I had as the character. They're longer than I did think originally. And just because Jared, just his generosity, his kindness, the amount of fun that we had working together, we developed our own friendship as well. I knew it was coming. I knew that I was going to get killed off. But I got to die twice. So that's not too bad.
Amazing story. Thank you very much. That is, unfortunately, is all that we've got time for today.
Really? Wow, that was way too fast, guys.
Way too fast. Way too fast.
Thank you so much, guys.
Your cast of Supernatural, make some noise for the If you're able to, please stand. We're going to grab a quick photo of you guys on the stage. So yeah, if you're unable to, please do stand. We've got a selfie there.